Oh, we got the masked man. That's wacky. Where is he gonna show up? I don't think I moved him ever. He is in the sky. The masked man is in the sky. Anyway, welcome back to Modding Miners Haven. It's me, Mr. Skeleton Man. So as I said last time, today we're going to be learning about droppers. Here I have one that I've modeled. This is a great example of just something that we're going to be doing that we gotta fix. So you can see the dropper is way out of whack. It's all rotated, even though you might have modeled it perfectly. You might have set the drop perfectly. Yeah, it's working. There's a couple things you need to avoid. We're gonna be learning about modeling. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about that. But what would work well, how to make the hitbox right so you can still work in a conveyor underneath there, and how to not make the hitbox so wacky that you can't even select it. This thing gets deleted whenever you leave the world, by the way, because the hitbox is so out of whack. Also, I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to get these decals to work. So to start, you're going to want to have a separate, entirely separate game, entirely separate base plate. This is what I would recommend because it makes things a lot easier. This is where I modeled the wire dropper before that all went wrong, and I was able to learn why that went wrong. Before you begin to model your dropper, I think it would be a good idea to go over some modeling tips, I suppose. Everybody knows that you can use move, scale, rotate, and transform. This one is really helpful, but stupid buggy. I would turn off collisions, join surfaces, and set the move to 2.5 or 0.25 studs and the rotate to 15 degrees. That way you can get exact, well, way more exact than just one stud measurements and designs, my bad, and rotations, and you can still get 45 or 90 degree rotations. And something else that I've learned is that odds are you're going to want a solid, relatively solid base. There is ways to work around this if you wouldn't want a solid base, like on this dropper right here. If you want to have something unique at the bottom, that's fine. There's ways to work around it, but it can get kind of messy. So without further ado, I'm going to try to figure out what to model. Make a Cuphead ripoff. Now I know you didn't mean dropper, but I'm going to do you one worse and make a dropper. Okay, I think our little man looks great. Oh, I need to anchor all this. This is our dropper. Oh my gosh. I could have just copied the cup model, but no, I wanted to make him special, and by golly, is he special. Alright, so, he has no arms or hands, and I did it on purpose for no reason. So, you might have noticed earlier when I said, oh, you probably want a base, unlike what I did over here, and then I neglected to add a base, so we're going to be doing that now. But first, we want to be making a hitbox. So, actually, the way I think you should do this is going over to your Miner's Haven, and go into your items, which is under replicated storage, and then you scroll down quite a bit, then items. I'm going to be taking Ambrosia Mine. I don't think this is remote or clickable or anything. I'm going to copy that and paste it right here. Yeah, here's our Ambrosia Mine. So it's for the best that you do all of these things in your editor and not in your completely blank Miner's Haven world save. So you want to take everything in here and copy it, everything except for model. You want to copy it, and then, oh wait, I didn't make this guy a group, did I? Make your dropper a group, and then paste it into the group. Okay, my mistake. You want the model of the dropper to be in a group. You want this to be named like cup dropper or whatever you named it, and then you paste it into cup dropper. This way, you're going to have, once you open up cup dropper, you'll have the stats, costs, all that, model, and hitbox. So we're going to be editing the hitbox. I would recommend setting it to 0.5 transparency, just so you can get a good idea of like what you're looking at here. So I just went ahead and placed it on the ground, did not mean to deselect it, and just go ahead and fit it to your to whatever it is you just made. Now the reason why you want to copy all that stuff from another mine is because you'd have to add it all. You'd have to add all of it by yourself. Another thing you do want to copy from the Ambrosia mine is go into the model and get the dropper script and the drop. You just want to copy those and right into the model of what you just made. So the drop from what you just copied is where the ores are going to come from. So you can just move this around really wherever you want. I'm going to be putting it here. You can size it however you'd like. It's just supposed to know where the ores are coming from. You can also make it completely invisible, which is what I want to do because that would kind of just mess with how he looks. Now the dropper script is where you edit how much they're worth, the color of the drop. So let's just take a look at here. You can customize pretty much anything. So this over here is how long the wait is between drops. This is where it creates the new ore. This is how much they're worth. This is what their surfaces look like, the material, the brick color, and the size of the drop. So to get a material or brick color, you can just go over here into color and hover over one. That's institutional white. I'm going to go with pearl because that's way easier to memorize. And under the material, I'm going to go with wood. You can see there's just a list of them here, and then underneath brick color you can just replace it with pearl and autofill it if you want to, and then over here wood. Now I'm going to set the ore value to 261,000. If anyone can tell me why, you get an imaginary golden star. Okay, you can now delete your Ambrosia mine and also in your stats here. So depending on how much you changed, like I didn't change the weight, so I don't have to change the drop rate. But if you change the weight to like 3 ores a second, wait, no, that's not right. If you changed it to wait 3 seconds, then it would be 1 ore every 3 seconds. The drop size I didn't change, but 0.7 by 0.7 by 0.7. It's easy, it's right here. I'll change it for the sake of the tutorial. We'll make it a 1 by 1 by 1. So you just want to change the ore value here, the X by Z, and then over in drop size, 1 by 1 by 1. For the drop value, it will be 261,000 per ore. Now, if you have million, put an M, billion, put a B, trillion, put a T. You know how the suffixes work. And if you don't, check the first link. Probably the first one, I'm not sure. Now, before we fix up the hitbox, let's just go through the cost. So originally it's 450 septillion. I can't afford that, and I want to see how this looks. So I'm just going to set it to $2,000. The description, this is what it's going to say underneath the dropper. So I'm just going to make this say cup. So if this is the first item you're ever going to make, you want the item ID to be 577, because there's 576 items in the game currently. You're adding the 577th. So the next item you make, it's going to be 578, next 579. I'm going to make this 578 because I already have the wire dropper in the game. Now, item type, this is where things get a little bit wacky. You can find the all the different item types in the description, but the value is going to be 1 because it's a dropper. If you set it to 7, it'll be UC, and 99, it'll be vintage or exotic. There's a lot of different item types, ones for furnaces, decor, upgraders, but I'm just going to keep this at 1 because it's a dropper. The required points, I'm going to put it 0. Thumbnail ID, once we get a photo of them, we'll do that later, and the tier. So 0 is common for the tiers, so I'm going to also keep this at 0 because of the price. And just a real quick thank you to Cherry Speak for using the document where I'm getting a lot of references for tiers and item types to figure all that out. Okay, so our dropper's almost complete. We just need to fix up 2 more things. Base of the model, which odds are won't work the first time, and the hitbox. So to make the base of the model, you just want to part, and you're going to put it underneath your model. Make sure that the drops can't land on it. Go ahead, anchor it, drag it into your model, set its transparency to 1. That's all you got to do for that. Now we have to edit the hitbox. So the hitbox, you have to do it in a very specific way for items. So first just fit it to what you would like it to look like on your model. And then everything down here has to be divisible by 3. So if things look a little bit too big for your dropper, remember you can scale up and down the model. I think we could make this man a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to scale him up a little ways so he fits the hitbox just a little bit better. Now I'm going to hide the hitbox. That looks all good. And next we are going to, well, next and last, we're going to be getting a thumbnail ID. So a thumbnail ID, pretty much you make a little screenshot of what you just made, you upload it to Roblox as a decal, and then you take a number, and that'll be the thumbnail ID. If that doesn't make sense, I'll walk y'all through it. So I just want this to have a nice background, so I'm going to generate just a map. That was a bad idea. Wait, how about this? Yeah, this looks good. This is what we like to call camera tricks. Alright, so now that once you've got it, you can open up your snipping tool, or really whatever you use to take screenshots, and just get a nice photo. Let's see, look at how happy this guy is. Now save it. And lastly, you want to open up your photo. This is just how I like to do it, because you need it to be in a square aspect ratio. I just go to edit and create and choose square, and then you can save it to the original file, and boom, we got a beautiful thumbnail ID. Or well, that's not the ID, that's going to be the thumbnail you use. So go on down to decals in your develop of Roblox, choose your file. Now there will be a number right up here in the URL. You can copy that, and that will be your thumbnail ID. So in your dropper, just go on down to thumbnail ID, paste in that number, hit enter, and there you go. You got a perfectly working, well, not yet perfectly working because he's not in the game, but you got a good looking dropper. So now all you need to do to get in the game is just go into your workspace, Control C to copy, and then you can just paste it in to your game. Go into items, and then Control Shift V is paste inside. Now we have the cup dropper. I'm gonna publish this, and let's see how it went. Okay, we're in the game. You can see the wireframe droppers aren't here because they're stupid broken. Now I don't think I set the cost to 0, so we're gonna have to look back at that. But now we have cup dropper, and you can see his hitbox is looking pretty slick. He's dropping ores. Let's see how much they're worth. He's dropping ores worth 261,000. Isn't that incredible? Oh, okay, I think I know what I did wrong with his cost. Okay, to fix our buddy the cup dropper, we're just gonna go into items where we can't see him. And the cost, I don't know why I set it to 2000 because 1000 has a suffix. For that, you just want it to be 2 and then a lowercase k. That'll be how much it costs. For some reason, it reads that rather than 2000, which seems a bit more logical to me, but I guess I'm wrong about that. It's because this class name is a string value. Can you see that? I don't know if you were able to see these the whole time because my face might have been in the way, so my bad. Now, if your model is rotated in a weird way that you don't know how to fix, I'm really sorry, but I'm not sure how to fix that either as of right now. But I swear, once I figure out how to fix the rotations, I will make a new video explaining how to do it. Now, what if you want this to look like the color of the team that the player's on? For example, the Iron Mine Chan earlier, that was like red, yellow, whatever, depending on what team I had. So what if you want something like, for example, his little body to be that color? Well, I'm going to show you how. So first you want to select all the parts that you will be changing. Those are the 3 for me. Then you want to go to color and just find black. Now in material, you want to find slate. And once they're all selected, you want to make note of which ones are selected and rename them to colored. Now, once they're all named to colored, you're good to go. This will tell the game that you want these parts of the model to be colored with the player's team. Now let's go ahead and update our model, then publish our game and see the changes. You can see already as we're loading in that our little cup fellas are now a whole new color. They're a happy little purple because we are on the purple team currently. No, he's not floating. I thought for a second that our cup buddy was floating. But now we got a bunch of cup buddies, and they're all different colors. They're all super happy. They're all having a good time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks a ton for the support on this series. I didn't know how well this would do, and surprisingly, we've had a lot of interaction. Like people, oh, this is the first person I've seen making a Miner's Haven mod tutorial, which was the goal. You know, because I could never find a tutorial, and I just wanted to learn how. So I'm glad I could help some of you guys out. Next episode, I think we're going to be doing upgraders, because those are really easy and really diverse. Pretty fun stuff to do. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new here, if you enjoy it. I don't always do these videos. I just have been recently because they're fun to make and it's fun to teach other people how to do something you've always wanted to do yourself. Anyway, that's it. Bye-bye.